All right, so this is just the recap for the end of the day on not October, November the 1st. November the 1st. So I kind of do a little bit of narration here at the beginning, and then I will just go into what I'm looking for, and you can feel free to kind of hang out with me. All right, so the few charts, the few tickers that I was looking at today. Let's see. Yeah, it's on here. I pulled them from the pre-market scanner from Benzinga, as well as the I've got a radar screen that I use here, which are the top 1% gainers for the day. CLLS was on there, but the other few that were on there were ZVSA, CLLS, MNPR, IRIX, and this one here, TGTX. SPRC is just one that I was watching from the prior day, but this trend line that I created here several days ago, it still seems to be working pretty well. So pretty much what I'm doing today is I'm just kind of looking at that, and I'll make myself a couple notes. So here I will screenshot this whole. Well, let me back this out. And then I'll screenshot this whole day, and then I'll make a couple notes on each of the charts as to what it did, and then that'll be part of my homework, what I look at. Just see how effective my indicators and any kind of technicals that I utilize are. So if you look at TGTX, this descending trend line here, it tried to break here. Hey, buddy. No. It tried to break here, but it was fake out. Support. Why was support down here? So this is pretty much what I'm going to go and do for each chart. But after it broke the trend line down here, we did have a nice little move up there, which was, what is that? 4 or 5%. And then this one here, this descending trend line, did not break there. I think that was part of the creation of that trend line. Yeah, that swing high right there. It broke it here, and then from that break there, we have a move up. It hit it there, but it also hit it there. So we'll just call our exit right there, and that was 26%. Of course, each chart is moving, it's moving different amounts. It has a different average true range. All right, so on ZVSA, this one here, this descending trend line, and out of all of them on here, this is the one that I decided to trade, right? So I've got to, IRIX didn't do well either, but I got to find out why ZVSA and IRIX did not do so well. Hang tight. Let me take this phone call. All right, so back at it, ZVSA, yeah, so that's one that didn't do so well. However, I'll look at it individually. All right, and then we have MNPR. This one did okay. So on the break there, we had a little move up there from this range to up here. That is a, what are you doing? That was 11%. And then IRIX, this descending trend line here, it did not seem to do anything. But one thing that I will say, looking at this one during the day, this one as well, SPRC, like I said, this was a mover from maybe yesterday or the day before, but there's lower liquidity here. And so I think I saw with maybe even ZVSA that lower liquidity didn't seem to make make these descending trend lines honest. So if you look at the volume there, about midway down, 15,000, 195,000, 5,000, 1,000. So there's not a whole lot of liquidity here, especially as the day goes on. Pockets of volume, but not significant volume, and that's on the 1 minute chart. So that maybe could have been my indicator. Okay, let's see what happened up here. All right, so up here we had 65,000, 60,000, 65, 50, 90, 100, 39, 40, 20, 32, 50. All right, but bear in mind, and I think this is one thing that I had to make note of, was that for ZVSA, we've got 22,000, 40,000, 50,000, 9,000, 10,000. We've got those kind of numbers, but that's on a share. The share price is 9 cents. It's 10 cents, right? So 10 cents times 10,000. I don't know. What's that quick math? $1,000. So that's not a whole lot of money. But if you come up here and you're doing 50,000 shares on $10 shares, now you're talking 500,000, 50,000 shares on $10. Yeah. So we're talking about different amounts of money. This amount of money, if $1,000 is controlling the move, then it can easily be manipulated, right? But if $500,000, per bar is what's responsible for shaping this, then it's going to be a lot harder to manipulate this. Yeah, I like math, so let me make sure I got that right. What did I say? 50. Some of these were 50,000, and I mean, all these are like 300,000 shares. Yeah, 300,000. Put another zero on it. 3 million. Yeah, that's right. 50,000 would be 500,000. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think this one would be Ixnade because of easy manipulation. And then this guy, how many shares is that? Yeah, same thing, like 100 shares, 0 shares there. All right, so you got that going on. Then over here, you have that same low liquidity issue. So I think I will, from now on, focus this descending trend line strategy with higher share or higher liquidity tickers. So even over here, you got 100,000 shares, 60,000 shares, 70,000 shares, 40,000 shares, and that's at $2. So even a 40,000 share candle at $2, that's $80,000. Where again, down here you have $1,000 bars. Up here you have $80,000 bars. A lot easier to manipulate this. Not saying that all of it can't be manipulated, because it can be. I'm just saying harder. And I think that less institutional traders, less smart money, not even consistent money, but predictable money. I think that folks who make smart money decisions tend to move in a predictable fashion. That's how they always get your money, because you keep doing the wrong things and they keep doing the opposite. So anyway, all right, so let me screenshot this, and then I need to make sure that I take ZVSA off of ZVSA, SPRC, and IRIX off of my. They would not be appropriate tickers for this, because they have very low share. I'm sure there's a word for it, capital size. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not talking to you, Peanut. I'm not talking to you. Yeah, well. Alright, so what I do is part of my routine is that I take all these screenshots and I send them over to my tablet so I can actually study them offline. This is the October 29th one. Alright, what I love about having everything so that it syncs up, everything that, truly syncs up, is that I can just go on here and then, so let me paste it. Oh, it's going to act funny. Alright, so I just had to reconnect it, so let me re-screenshot it. Then I come over here and I hit paste. And then so from on my tablet, I can actually, move it on my tablet as well, which is really cool. I didn't even think about doing some of the live stuff this way. I can just take this and and then make my markups on here. Does that work? Yeah, and then referencing that and that and that and then smiley face. Yeah, pretty cool there. Pretty cool. All right. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's give this. I guess we'll make it a little girl. And then hair. And then I am supposed to be studying stocks right now, nonetheless. Okay, and then this will be. This is a duck, I guess. Is this a duck? Yep. Okay, feet there. Feet, yep. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that duck. Okay, okay. Alright, let's be productive here. Okay. Let's be productive. Alright. Let's get this out of here. That's cool though. Alright. So, alright, so the first one, TGTX. Zoom in on this. Alright, so we have that descending trend line there. And on this chart, I don't have a lot of the extra moving averages and everything like that. This chart is specifically for my viewing perch. So it looks like this. And so it's not too cluttered. It just has some trend lines. And I think on this one, I'm also supposed to have the... no, I thought I was supposed to also have the swing levels. Support and demand. All right, so support and demand. Yeah, so there's some faint lines that show up there. That just gives an idea of what's happening from the left side of the screen. Okay, but otherwise, so like SPRC, typically I'd come back over here and I'd have SPRC somewhere down here on my other desktop. Okay, so I have ZVSA. Let's add support and demand here. Okay, so then you see these lines come up and it just kind of gives you an idea, again, from the left hand side of the screen, where you're likely to encounter price zones that are significant. And you can see here that as this time frame came into the picture, this time frame here, as that came into the picture, it created a new support level. So this one came into the picture, it created a new support level. And then what happens when you go to the right, this price bounced at this support level. So like I said, you may be focused here and not realize what's going on the left hand side of the screen because you're too far zoomed in. However, you got this line coming from the left hand side of the screen to remind you, to cue you in. It's like, hey, you know, there's potential support level there or area of liquidity, so hold on tight or go ahead and make that your stop loss level, something of that nature. Okay. All right, so now we have this descending trend line coming in here. And if you watch my other videos, you know that I've made these ellipses show up once we have a swing high that meets certain criteria. And so once we have that swing high that meets certain criteria, this trend line, this descending trend line is drawn. And that's what we're looking for the break of. We're looking for the break of that descending trend line to signal we got a larger move, like in TGTX. When this was the high, this was the next spot. Can't hardly see that dot there. Zoom in, see that ellipse there? Okay, so now we had that break there. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that the volume needs to kind of break a bit when we're breaking this descending trend line. So even though we broke here, this volume right here is not high, it's not significantly higher. So it moves up, it drops down again, drops down, and then it breaks. All right, it's 8 o'clock bell. All right, breaks the descending trend line again here. This time we have more volume, and it's volume that's relatively larger to the volume prior to it. So that's your entry there. All right, so we have another swing high that meets the criteria that I set up, and a break here, right? But the volume isn't terribly higher, so you know, and this line is getting to be fairly horizontal, right? So now we're kind of moving into like a price level instead of a descending trend line. So, you know, I don't know. I've only been playing with this for about a week or two, so I'm not really sure what the parameters are and how to exactly trade this. I'm seeing a lot of charts where it looks pretty good on, but no perfect strategy yet. Okay, so TGTX CLLS is one I was looking at earlier today, and I saw it at the break of the day, 8:39:30 when it came into play, and I was like, huh. But then I think it dropped. I think it dropped a lot. Yeah, it dropped right here, and I was just waiting for an entry, and then look, all of a sudden, at well, so this wouldn't have shown up here. This would have shown up somewhere here. So around 11 o'clock, this descending trend line all of a sudden popped up on my screen, and I was like, I should take that. I didn't take it, but I should have took it. I should believe in my algos. But anyway, I'm working on that. But also keep in mind, look here, you have this other descending trend line where it broke here. Neither one of these did that volume increase significantly. So, like I said, that's part of one of my criteria, is that volume should increase. So, you know, should the criteria be that the volume increases, or should it be that we have an ascending level of support there? So I don't know. But I think that's one of the things I was going to do here for a little bit was come up with a line, a trend line that I can add that's an ascending support. Make it similar to the descending resistance. I don't know how quickly I can do that, or how. I'm sure it's going to take some. It'll be a labor of love, but let's see if I can come up with that. Okay. All right. I know I'm going to have to go back to my other references because I'm not perfect at this. But if you hop in, I'll put something on the chat. If you hop in, just say hello. Otherwise, I'm gonna mute this for a bit, and I'm gonna put on my music, and I'm about to jam out. All right, let's see. Plus, you don't want to hear the dog either, so. Or whatever. All right, so just want to come on real quick, let you know. So what I'm doing right now is I just created a little bit of a algorithm to pull up the swing lows. All right, so these are the swing lows, but now I need to find out what the significant swing lows are, because we have all these swing lows, and that's good. And so we could simply just draw, you know, lines through those swing lows. That'll be our trend lines that's created, and once you breach this, it just tanks, right? Or do we find something that identifies this point here? How do we identify that point? If we draw a line from here back, does it hit that? Are those the points, right? Because that looks pretty good to me. but so this swing low is actually referencing this. That dot is referencing this swing low. This dot is referencing this swing low. So it's like, all right, well, how do we find these two values? Forget these other three values. How do we identify these two values? And so what's happening down here with the volume or with the price change or the wicks? What's happening at these two? I definitely see some long wicks there. Peanut, really, buddy? Jesus, man, go find your mama or something. You know what I'm saying? Good gracious. Yeah, I'm seeing some long wicks there, but again, I don't know if this is going to apply to most charts. I need something that applies to most charts. All right, if we go down here to volume, the yellow line is above the blue. Jesus, it's way too late at night to be doing this. The yellow line is above the blue line, and so that means that the 6 period moving average, the faster period moving average of the volume, is above the slower period moving average of the volume. So that's one piece of logic that we can pull out there. We can pull out that, and on this one, the yellow line is under the blue line. So those two don't coincide. Plus, we set this up not as the low, the swing low of the low. We set it up as the close of the swing low. So this lowest here wouldn't be pulled out. It would actually be this close here that's pulled out. That close. All right, let me see if I can zoom in on it. All right, so you see that low there? This wouldn't be pulled out. This low here, this close is pulled out. And this low here isn't pulled out. This close is pulled out. Peanut. Yorkie, man. Yorkie. Gotta love him. Got to love him. All right, so let's see if we can find back where we were. And then I'm just going to go ahead and draw an ascending support. Oh man, all right, this ought to be good. Because I spent about 8 hours coming up with that descending trend line that works great. This script here that I came up with, it took me about 8 or 10 hours to come up with this script. And you can see though that it worked great here once, worked great here twice. Over here, this was a wick, it didn't close above. This one closed above, so technically you could have took that one with a stop loss here. So technically it worked 3 times on this chart. This time here, it's broken above it. We'll have to see what happens in the morning, but I mean, it did move above it though, right? So I don't know. We'll see what the rest of the day looks like. Oh, and this was pre-market, so it worked once, twice, 3 times a little bit. On this 4th one, it worked. And then if you continue this one, I think the way I kind of designed this was that it just works on the first time. But if you continue to look at this trend line here, you can say it worked a 5th time. And this is like the only indicator that I have on this specific chart. This is like my viewing perch that I have, that I can just see all the stocks on. But I watched this chart specifically as well, and CLLS. Like I said, this one I did take Trader 2 on early this morning using that same indicator that I just showed you. But I think I haven't done enough with pre-market on TradeStation, so I was trying to get in down here when it fired off, and I didn't, so I ended up getting in higher up or something like that, but I still got out in time and before it tanked right. Did I get back into it? Okay, yeah, these were FOMO. These were FOMO entries right here. When I got into it first thing this morning, pre-market, I got into it when the script told me to, and I got out just before the drop. Yeah, I got in here, and then I got out just before the drop of the morning. So I did get back in, made a few dollars on that, but anywho. Okay, all right, so let's go back to this chart. And then see if I can come up with ascending support. Like I said, it took me 10 hours before. I'll be on here for a while, coming up with this for sure. So I'm about to mute this thing and get back to it. Okay, so step one is complete. It looks like I have a bunch of trend lines created on the chart. Ascending trend lines created on the chart. Now I've got to narrow down which ones are affected. And then I've got these couple here, unless I made these. No, I've got these couple here that are descending, and there should not be any descending ones on here. Yeah, those descending ones on there. So I've got to figure out how to get rid of those descending ones. But other than that, at least I got something on the chart, and none of the lines are connected. Yeah, drawing these trend lines can actually be quite a bit of a bear. So the fact that I've got these on here right now is pretty good. All right, on to the rest of the process. Alright, had to take care of the dog. I made it back. And yeah, so still in the process of weeding out these the ascending support that we got, that we just created here. All these bars here, these trend lines. But got to figure out why we have these descending trend lines, because we shouldn't have any descending trend lines on this with this algorithm. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 descending trend lines somehow. So we've got to figure out why we have those. Sure, it's something I did. Alright, so I'm back at it. Putting my music on, and I will meet you guys out. Yo, what's up, NASCAR? Slow day, CLLS with a press release. Yeah, I got into CLLS. Like I said, a couple times. I got into it back in here, pre-market, and then I got in one more time later on. Hang on, guys. Alright, you know, it's nighttime, it's the end of the day, so Everybody winding down. Here I am studying stocks. But yeah, so I'm not sure. It's not showing on this one. Not sure what I have it on this one, but yeah. So you see these descending trend lines. I think I talked about them before. I think I took around 8. I think I took. I saw that the price was starting to form a little base here, and it was approaching this descending trend line here. So I went ahead and entered down here, and I exited. I mean, right up there. So I entered down here somewhere, right as it was approaching this descending trend line. Got in down here, and then I exited. I mean, right up here. I was actually lucky to get out because I just set the limit order, and then I left to go do something with one of the properties. So that's not the way you trade. You don't walk away. I mean, maybe some people, but I shouldn't, because when I walk away, I'm kind of gambling. But yeah, so CLLS again on this one. Later in the day, by the time I got back to the trading desk, this ellipse here was being created, this descending trend line here, and I hesitated to get back in. I was actually watching VZSA or something like that, and so I didn't get in here at this break. And then as it shot up there, I'm like, oh yeah, well, let me get in. So I FOMO'd in, got in about here, and I think I exited here. But I was not trying to play the FOMO game today. Today is my first day back trading, so I was trying not to do the FOMO game, but I did it anyway. But I think I have the setup of a decent strategy here with this descending trend line. But so tonight I'm working on making the ascending support portion of that, right? So the yin and the yang, the other side. But I just created the ascending support, and I've got these lines here, which I haven't really created the logic to determine which points need to be used, but I've got some descending trend lines showing up in here where they should only be ascending trend lines. So I'm kind of trying to come up with trying to figure out where I've gone wrong, and all these blue lines should be ascending support. So what else did you trade today, NASCAR? Did you trade anything? I know we had the Fed Powell speech today. I watched that for a bit, and talking about a lot of technical stuff. It was interesting, fun to watch the market, the overall inputs, what moves the market. But I mean, the grand scheme of things, I'm really working on technicals. So all right, let's see. And then the other ones, I don't know if you caught it from earlier, the other ones that I was watching today. ZVSA, that one, and then TGTX, CLLS, SPRC moved the other day. I'm still just kind of watching that, but if you see these descending trend lines, boom, could have caught a little move up. If you had got in here, boom, could have caught a little move up. It worked on TGTX as well. Little fake out here. So I've got to figure out why or when, to execute there. But when it did break, there was a little move to be had there. And I think I determined with ZVSA and IRIX there's not enough liquidity, or the number of shares to the purchase price just makes for too easy manipulation. It's just not enough liquidity, not enough money in it to trade this particular strategy. Didn't trade a single stock, so I start trading and you give it a break. Now, did you give it a break because you are very disciplined, or did you give it a break just because you didn't find what you like to trade? Because those are two very different things. Yeah, there's just way too many ascending supports here, and I'm not even sure that they're. I mean, that one's hitting that one's hitting that point, but these that are descending, I feel like, unless for some reason they are referencing the other data set. I've only got one ascending support. It's on data stream 1, so there shouldn't be anything else going on. But these here, that one there and this one here. I do recall though, when I had an issue like this last time, something about the second data stream, when I turned that off, I think I lost these very weird ones. Let me try to turn it off. Well, I've only got one on here. Only one data set on here. So that is a swing low, and it went and it tapped another swing low, a lower swing low, but it should not have tapped a lower swing low. It should have, let's do this, swing low bar. Let's just copy that, and we're going to paste that down there. Instead of swing low bar, it's going to be the swing low, so it's going to be the swing low value. And then it says in value 1, we need to change it to value 3, something like that. And we'll do plot, let's do plot 2, value 3, that, and that. That should not be a line, that should be a point. Do that there. So those are the points. This point references this swing low, this point references this swing low, this point references this swing low. But in order to make it continue going all the way across, it needs to say something like, so if value 3 is greater than 0 and, let's see, value 3 is greater than 0, then value 4 equals value 3. We're assigning that to that, or else we're going to assign value 4 to being what value 4 was a bar ago. So if it doesn't find a new swing low, then it will essentially stay the swing low that it was a bar ago. Value 4. If then value else. All right. So there's our values there. I don't know why we lost our trend lines, unless we use value 3 somewhere else up here. Nope. Value 3. Plot value 2. Value 1 descending. Now, why did we lose our trend lines? Didn't find a set while I was doing research and found the biotech size get ready. Biotech. I don't know, man, but I forget. Oh man, I forget what I'm bad with news and current events and stuff. But sometime a couple years ago, where there was like a war about to start up, there was a lot of those. I think it was like the oil stocks, like shot up, right? So let me see what like the oil ETFs are or futures. Because those shot up when like it was talk of war and that kind of thing, and then of course everybody, started paying attention to that after the fact. But now that they're just talking about that now, I mean, if you get in front of like the oil stocks, and maybe it's oil and energy, but that might be something to look at. I don't know about biotech in reference to being seasonal for the first of the year. WTI. USO. USO, I guess this is like an oil, United States oil fund. Yeesh. On the daily chart. I don't know. I don't know. One of those is last week we had 6 trend mover. Yeah. Well, I think CLLS. It was 100. Wasn't it close to 100 or something? I thought I recall hearing. Let's see. What the radar screen? I don't know if it's still on the radar screen, but it did retrace some. Gainers of the day, TGTX, no, yeah, 30, 27%. Let's see. CLLS on the daily. I mean, I don't know that you want to do it that way. 162% from the prior day, you know. So, but yeah, not 200%, not 200%. $4, $90 in 10 days of that time. Ooh. Which one did the 4 to 90? Yeah, which one did the 4 to 90? What? As I said, INDO. Let's see, INDO, and then too, like I said, I'm curious because this descending trend line that I have set up, I'm just curious of how it works on other charts. INDO on the daily, I mean that descending trend line that I made, it's weird because I just kind of came up with that descending trend line. I mean, it took me 10 hours, but it was more so fundamentally, or how to put it together, the algorithm. It wasn't that I was trying a bunch of different numbers or different ratios. It wasn't that. I was just trying to make it work. But I mean, you know, but who could have guessed jumping over that? But as soon as it jumped over it, it really reacted, right? But I'm seeing that with this specific, with the logic that's in this trend line, when it reacts to it, I mean, it really reacts to it, really jumps. So I think I might have something here in NASCAR. So like I said, we talking about putting our heads together about something. So this might be the one. We'll keep looking at it. But I really want to put something together for this ascending support though. INDO, but what else did INDO? You said 4 to 90 though? No. Or that was okay. That was the last year you were talking about, the run up. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Did you capture any of that? Were you in those moves? Viewing purchase. CLLS? Okay. Did a similar thing. Like I said, nice good break above that trend line. Anyway, I'm liking it. I wonder what else is going to do above here, is it going to keep reacting above here for a bit? Alright, let's see, CLLS. Alright, let's go back to this 1 minute time frame and see if we can, for one, we got to find out, let's see, why did we lose that ascending support? Study not verified, perch. Did we lose it all together? Ascending support, there it is. Value 3. Bar number plot. If value 2 is not equal to value 2 of 1 ago and value 2 is greater than value 1 ago, then count and count is greater than or equal to 2, then begin. You're going to start that plot line bars ago plus the length bars ago plus bars ago, that will be current bars ago. This would be current bars ago. Bars ago, we won't take anything off of that. And then the second data point will be length just the length, and then this will be just the length. Okay, let's try that. But I still don't know why I lost it though. Alright. All I did was added this good stuff on down here. So let's mute that out. Muted that out and it still didn't come back. So once we get all that, we're starting bars to go over. That'll be 0, and then there will be +1. Drawn objects .add ASCS. Extend right true. Color SCS weight equals 3. Lock true. Persist true. Begin if that and that value 2 is over 1. Is greater than the last one, and the count is greater than or equal to 2. Did I lose count in here somewhere? There's count. We're going to begin if that, then we'll begin bars ago. Just counting bars since last iteration. And then this is if value 2 is condition of new condition swing condition value 1 low swing bar. I think I put bar back in there. I need to take bar out. There we go. All right. Can you plot the descending trend line to ticker FIMI and multiple on September? Yeah, let's try on FIMI. I actually traded FIMI, made it a few dollars on it. But that was intraday. And now this one, this is what I'm working on now. This is supposed to only be my ascending trend line, so that's why I say I've got. It's seeing that, I think it's seeing this swing low here, and then it's seeing this swing low here, and it's joining these two instead of joining I need to tell it to only draw it if the 1 point is higher than the second point. Maybe if the high of that bar, or the value of that, yeah, the low of that bar is greater than the low of the, yeah, let me see. I think I can work that out. All right, but so as far as this goes, I mean, when it crossed here, it was a period of time where it kind of, was doing its lateral thing. It at least tried to halt in that area, rotate laterally, but this was not like a great entry for a move up, I don't think. But of course here, so you had this point here and you had this point here. That's what was created by the descending trend line. But there, oh man, right? Huge move up. That's why I say if I can use these strategies and exercise some discipline, and like I say, get out when it hits the low. So like say if you were to get in here, but then make this your stop loss, just get out. Forget about this one. Forget about this descending line. Forget about the rest of it. Just use that descending trend line as it appears to work, and then on the time when it does jump over it, then just go ahead and jump in. But I'm still bad about holding and holding and holding and holding. I'd still be holding down here, so yeah, I'm bad about that. All right, so you see it on FIMI there. Let's see what it looked like on, let's see, FIMI back 929. Let's see, that's let's run that back, what, 60 days? And I don't know, I'm asking a lot of my computer right now. 60 days, run FIMI back 60 days and see what this would have looked like back on 929. Can you handle it, Lenovo? Come on, you can do it. Oh yeah, I told you she could do it. Alright, so FIMI back. Yeah, we need to just get rid of that ascending support for the time being until we truly get it ascending. But let's go back 929-ish. Is this when the run-ups were? Yep, around 929. So here, didn't do a good job there, right? Did a good job here. There, not so much. Yeah, there's good. Not so much here. Is that pre-hours? Yeah, that's pre-hours. Okay. What's the volume look like? Yeah. Volume wasn't great, but at the same time, it is, low float. Almost, pretty much a penny stock. So, but in here, you had this high amount of volume in here, and it didn't even really fire off during these parts of the day. So then, like I said, what you have to decide is how to utilize this. And do you enter when you get a close above, or do you wait for the first retest and then enter? I don't know. But I mean, I'm excited about it enough that I think it's something that I can work with. And like I said, I literally didn't put I put like zilch amount of effort into identifying what these swing levels should be. I think I just made it like 15 bars on either side, and then it had to have a little bit of volume or something like that. So I put just a very minimal effort into figuring out what that logic is. And sometimes, less is more, But maybe if I spend a little bit more time actually really defining what those swing bars are, might get some better results. So 925 and 929. Yeah. There's 925. Yeah, between 925. I mean, I forget what we saw on the daily chart, but you can see here back 925. Well, here's 926. You got that one, but I mean, then you similarly have this one, which would not have worked out. But like I say, I mean, just rock with it for a little bit, and we'll come up with some criteria to actually, like I said, define how we're going to define this one, how we're going to define this one, how do we define that versus that, because this might have been a better trend line there, right, instead of this one and this one. Yeah, because this one is barely a swing high. It's barely a swing high, right? But I think it probably had, like I said, some of that other criteria in there, where it just had some higher volume. The volume was a little bit higher here than it was a couple bars before. But in all fairness, like I said earlier, the low liquidity here, these very narrow bars, nothing happened on these bars, means that this one shouldn't work. This descending trend line, you don't want to use it. And I could put that in the code that the bar has to have, like, say, more than 200,000 shares or more than 100,000 shares or something like that. But I'm afraid that, well, I mean, it would make a lot of, it would take away a lot of trend lines. But, probably, again, less is probably better. So that's probably not a bad idea. It's probably not a bad idea. But just because I was working with CLLS, oh, that came up pretty quick. Let's see. I had an idea for, so value of 2 is greater than the value of 2 a bar ago, and value of 2 is greater than value, yeah, it's not equal to value 2 a bar ago, and value 2 is greater than value 2 a bar ago, and count is that value 2 and let's see, close. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare this close information to this close information, and this close has to be and I think they do first point, second point. So this close has to be, in matter of fact, maybe they don't, but this close has to be less than this close. So let's say close of length, plus go is greater than close of length. Take this then out, then got rid of a lot, and it actually only left the descending ones. So we know by mere process of elimination that we just need to change this operator, which means that I think that this is the most recent bar. Nope, I just put it in wrong. All right, perfect. So now we have all ascending supports, and so that's the first part of it. Like I said, just to get to this point in the process, for when I did those descending trend lines, it probably took me like 10 hours, 12 hours. I mean, 3 hours here, 4 hours there. So this all together has taken, I don't know what, like an hour or something. So that's good. But so now we just need to find out what are the significant, which are the significant lines. And then I have to figure out how I want to use it. So am I looking for exits to say that the trend is over? Or am I looking for supports, like ascending support leading to like a parabolic move? What I mean by that is, like, even if you're looking at something so benign as this, boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, and then it starts curling up, and then you go into this little slight parabolic compared to this move up. Are you looking for that, or are you looking for this one from here to here to here to here to there, and then it breaks down for a bit? You're looking for that one. So I got to figure out what you're looking for. But the mere fact of me creating it, that's step one for me. So I'll figure out what's significant later. Any ideas? You want me to try anything? Got any ideas of pieces of logic you want me to put in here to see if we can see if it's significant? Because I'm seeing something like, I think we saw earlier, right? So if it had a long wick, right? So let's say that the wick is 20% as long as the bar is. So on that specific bar, the wick has to be 20% as long as the bar. So if the value that and that, we'll put one more condition. Hang on. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. So if value 2 is greater than, and then so we start the new count, then begin. Oh my goodness. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna say and. What are we doing? And see, bottom wick is greater than. We'll just say. We'll say 10% of the range, so we don't exclude too much for right now. And I believe I need to change that up here as well. If value of 2, because that's going to be the first. Yeah, that's going to be the first criteria. Unless I wanted to separate it for different criteria for the first and for the second bar, which I don't think I want to do right now. Okay, so it worked, no errors. All right, I did see that we got rid of some of those ascending bars. this one I just drew. This one I drew. That one is drawn by the script. All right, so we have a couple of ascending supports, but I don't feel like they're great. I think I was hoping I would capture like this one and maybe this one for a line from here to here. I mean, again, a tool is only as good as the person using it. So I see these lines going through here. I see those, but I'm wondering. Oh, I'm wondering if I should be, because typically, like for these descending trend lines, I'm looking at that first break, right? So really, like when it first breaks through, I want to take that entry right there. But for these, well, I mean, it did break here and it really shot down, you know. So maybe this is valid. I was actually looking over here to see, okay, you have all this zigzag, and then here it breaks down, right? Once it broke below that level, but it went through this line like 1,000 times. However, when it went through it here, it did drop straight down. So maybe this trend line is somewhat valid. What happened here? When it went through it this time, this didn't really change structure. I mean, it was going into some type of pennant shape, or like a descending triangle. It was going there the whole way, and it really didn't pause when it got through here. What about, so that was 1. This is 2. This is 3 coming all the way from the left side of the screen. And this one here, was created from here to here. And it became a level of support, I guess, if you look at this going across. Price is kind of bouncing on there. So again, I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's not. Let's see. If the stock retraces a certain amount, maybe the descending resistance becomes obsolete at that point. Yeah, I'm with you. The only thing is, I don't know how to delete these. You know, say a certain criteria is met. I know that you can reference an object. I have to figure that out, because I know that you can reference these different trend lines. You see, it has a number to it. Trend line number 78528. This one has trend line 78575. So I imagine once, like you said, once it breaks through. So like if the price was higher than the trend line 10 bars ago and is lower than the trend line now by 20%, then erase the trend line. I know that you can erase the trend lines, but I don't know how or why or when you would utilize that logic. Let's see, it'd be something like I know you can do it with there's a couple ways to draw trend lines. The way that I'm doing it makes it an object, so that you can set alerts with it and you can do a bunch of different things with it. There's another way to draw a trend line, which is just, I think it's just trend line dot new, something like that. But with that way, I think you can do delete. You can do trend line. So value 1 equals trend line dot new, something like that, and then you put in your criteria. Yeah, see the trend line class, but I'm using the class, which is making it an object. But you should also be able to do trend line dot delete as well, I believe. Or remove, delete, remove. Let's see what it says on the objects. You can set the weight, style, start point, show labels, right justified, label, extend right, endpoint, alert. Yeah, I don't see the delete. Information. So maybe not. Maybe not. It's a good thought though. Definitely a good thought. But yeah, and then the other thing is, like, you can do different things where you can, if it drops below a certain level, then you can color the bars, or you can do different things. But once it's created, you can't then change it. I don't think. So, but then there is the portion in here that calls for persist. So this just makes it continue to show up on the chart. I wonder if you do something like if price is higher than yeah, let's try that. If open is greater than, well, but then I don't know how to do the trend line. All right, so if open is greater than open D is open of the day. Open D, then ASCS persist equals true, else ASCS persist equals false. The only thing about this is I don't think it'll really even do anything until this will be open for the day. So I think you have to put a 0. I don't think it'll even do anything until you're getting new bars, until you're in a live situation. Yeah, period, go, 0. Who's not a member of the drawing system class? Who's that? Okay, so maybe you can't do it that way. But I like playing around with that stuff though, because eventually you'll find something that works and you'll knock your socks off. Alright. Still, I managed to do something that the computer did not like. Oh, this trendline thing. Alright, so let's go back to that. If open is greater than open of the day, then that else ASCS.persist equals false. Oh yeah. 0 days ago, that's today. Alright, so I didn't get rid of any of those bars. Let's do, yeah, I just refreshed the chart and it didn't do anything. What did I get there? How did I get here? Maybe I was on the other, how did I get here? Man, I'm tripping. I know that I was probably on the other, yeah, I was on this desktop, and now all of a sudden I switched to this desktop. Okay, so, And on this desktop, if you remember that I created that algorithm that sets up the, oh yeah, well this is where I entered and exited during the day. I wonder why, because I have the thing on. Not sure why it's showing up on this one and not on the other one. But so this is where I took those trades at earlier in the day on CLLS. Like I say, here I just FOMO'd in because my script showed that I should have got in, and I didn't get in, and so I was like, yeah, well, I don't want to miss the move because I own that move, because I saw that move with my descending trend line. I was like, how dare I lose money or not make money on that, right? So this descending trend line right here, when it came through this last point here, I should have took it here, but I didn't. I waited until I saw this nice thick old candle, and I was like, okay, boom, let me get in. So I think I got in the first time. I was just going to kind of scalp it, and then I looked for the smaller, narrower bars here with less volume, and so I got in there, and yeah, I guess I got in another 2 right there, and then I got out up here. So it was pretty good. But then the pre-market one that I got in, that I was telling you about. Oh, and then this is another one that I made for slope. I think I posted a video I did live about it the other day. But this guy here, I'm looking at the slope, how fast the 200 period moving average is moving up, the slope of the 200 period moving average. And so then I have another indicator that it's like a highlighter. This blue line is like a highlighter over top of the slope to say, hey, this is a good time to probably get in. And then over here, this is a good time to probably get in. Yeah, I should probably put something, make this like yellow or something if it's overextended. But yeah. And I thought the other day I made an indicator that showed like when this, I did, but I think I called it something else, and so I don't even remember what the name of it was. But when the slow period of the slope is under the, or when the fast period is under the slow period, to get in here. So you would get in here, so you would get in here, so you would get in here. But now this slope is the 200 period moving average, the slow slope is starting to move down, so you wouldn't get in here. Yeah. Or maybe you wouldn't even get in here either. Yeah. Okay. That's another strategy. So enter here, enter here. All right. Let me see if I can make that real quick. Or yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make that real quick. All right, what you got? Search. You get a chance. Can you apply this to Pixie? Very scam site has been heavily done. Let's see what it looks like on Pixie. Some folks were looking at Pixie the other week. I didn't mess with. I don't know. I think maybe it's the name of it. I was just like, ah. All right, so looks like it's would have gave you a decent entry where it dropped here, right? This was yesterday, right? Nice risk to reward there. Okay, and then or first thing, what, this morning? Cross right here. Very nice risk to reward there. This one made a point here, so this would have been created around this time, around 10 o'clock in the day. And so you would have saw that and you say, do I get in there? And so, don't know the answer to that, but it doesn't look like it stayed above it very long. It didn't like close above it or anything. And then You have all day. And that's the thing about like this specific strategy and looking at this script is, man, you'll wait all day long. And then you see this and you're like, oh, is it time? And then it just touches it and it comes back down. But isn't that crazy though? That's, to me, that's bananas. Where this point happened here, this point happened here, around this time of the day, my script draws this line, and then you have from 10 o'clock all the way to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's below this number, below this line, and then when the stock moves up, it touches the line perfectly and then drops down. To me, that line is significant. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So, Pixie, and I mean, it would have worked. It was a good risk to reward here. And like I say, my problem has always been I traded here, make some money, and then in this zone, which is why I'm doing the ascending support, in this zone, I don't realize, okay, get out there and stay out. Don't get in here. Don't get in here. Don't get in here. Because I'll get in all those places. I'll get in here. I may get in here. Or honestly, I would have got in so much right here that this drop right here would have made me lose my mind and I would have exited completely. But probably should have waited until some other strategy, some other algorithm, something says, no man, wait all this time. Don't get in here. Just wait and get in here. Right? So now I've got some ammunition. And man, I've been trading stocks for a couple years. I've been writing scripts and stuff for 6 months or so, and now I'm really starting to feel good about it. So it's only going up from here. I mean, these swing levels I made a couple weeks ago, these descending trend lines I made like a week ago. So it's everything's coming together. Everything's coming together. Yeah. All right, but I'm gonna go back to CLLS and see if I can add to that 200 EMA script. What does the ascending support look like on this one? Alright, yeah, so that ascending is, I gotta work on that. I've gotta work on that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that ascending support here, like this line, it did come through and it gave a resistance zone here. Boom. Kind of straddled it there. Wick on that one. So, I mean, it's not completely defunct. It's just, I don't feel like it's refined. So, alright, but I wanted to do something like if the, let's edit this easy language here, and then we'll put like a yellow dot down there. So right now, plot, what's blue? This is blue. Okay, so then we're going to say so all this, so if the volume of 50 is greater, so if the volume is moving up and the value of 2 is greater than that, then we're going to DM blue. So that, and let's see, we're going to do the slow if value, the fast is less than value 2, then plot 5, we're going to do value 2 times 0.87. So pretty much this blue line here is just under this value 2 line. And we make it just under it by we multiply this value 2 by 0.90, so 90%. Value 2 times 0.90. So now we need to make the yellow line that comes under it just under that one. So instead of being 90%, it'll be like 87%. 87%, we're going to make it yellow default, and then we're going to make it a width of like 3, just like it is, just like the blue line is. If that, then that, I don't think we need an else there. Alright, but it doesn't need to connect. I think that's what it's doing. Begin. Yeah, I think it's tried to connect everything because that blue wasn't even connected. Alright. Let's see, I better name it because it's getting cluttered here. Alright, so pool I'm going to do slope pull back for that one. For the blue, I'm going to do momentum. So now it just has names when we go here to properties. Slope pull back. Don't automatically connect lines. Don't automatically connect lines. Set that as the default. And then that. Alright, perfect. So we see these yellow lines here. So those yellow lines are really where you want to enter. When you have the yellow line is only going to appear where the blue line is because of the way that I have the hierarchy in the algorithm. But when you have the yellow line, when you have the yellow, that's money. That's money. This is money. This is money. Look at it. Look at it. Go up from here. Boom. Go up from here. Boom. Go up. You see it? Right there. Go up. You see it? It's ready. Go up from here. That's your pullback, right? Go up from there. That's your dip. All right. Here, not so much. All right. Not so much. And then here, I mean, that one could work for something. It could at least get you back to break even, move your stop up. And again, now if you look, we have this line showing up here where it's like, all right, well, it came away from the left hand side of the screen, but it's a place where price reacted. So like I said, those trend lines, they may not be the best thing, and that's what I'm realizing about this trade stuff. Yeah, I mean, sometimes simpler is better, but being able to look at everything, put all the bits and pieces together is imperative. But nonetheless, like I said, if you made money 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I mean, like, all these aren't like, they're just confirmations of each other, if you will. But if you made money, even like I said, in that range, you call this 1, move up, 2, move up, 3, move up, 4, didn't move up, 5, break even. So you won 4 times, you broke even once, you lost 1 time. I think those are good numbers. I think those are good numbers. Let's see. I don't know if Pixie was intraday mover, but let's see if we had any entries on it. No, there's the blue. There's the blue. But I think is that a piece of yellow there? I think that's a piece of yellow. Let's drop this a little bit lower, or we'll move this up to 92%.
All right, side break.
Yeah, I think that's a piece of yellow there, right? But again, in all fairness, this is very low liquidity. Anything can be manipulated in here, so I wouldn't do that on this one. All right, TGTX was on. It moved intraday, and I think I still got this thing running back like 60 days, so it's taking a lot of system resources. All right, so even though we have the blue here, we got some potential momentum going on here. We don't have any of the pullbacks where the black line crosses under the red line, so no entries there. No entries here. Yep. Guess that's where you sit on your hands. Is that one? I think that's telling. I think that's a potential one there. That yellow. I think that's yellow. Yeah, that's a yellow one there. So, I mean, that's going slightly up, so I think that's just one of those where you're just taking a chance on. Unless volume, maybe there's some other clue that could keep us from entering. Or maybe it's this guy, this descending trend line that we haven't crested yet. So if we're under the resistance, then it's still the seller's world. So you don't really want to buy in there. I think that makes sense. I have to put that in my notes. Okay, but here we got over the descending resistance. So if you found one in there, then you'd be good to go. But we didn't. And this thing came right up to this swing level right here, and it dropped down. So broke above the descending resistance here. So, but then again, it went right back up to that swing level. And again, that swing level is our background data set, right? So we have 2 data sets going on. We got a 15-second and we got a 5-minute. This swing level is referencing the 5-minute time frame, so it's giving us a larger bias time frame look at what's going on. And on the 5-minute time frame, it's saying that this is a significant level. So on the 15-second time frame, you better respect it. And this chart does multiple times even, right? So okay. All right, NASCAR. Anybody? Got anything? Get at me. Otherwise, I unfortunately won't be able to trade tomorrow. I'll be taking a little bit to go get our hair done. So, one of the joys of not having to clock in every day, but I wouldn't miss it. So, I will have my little phone with me, and I can go and study stocks and stuff while I'm there, or take the tablet, which I've been putting all my notes in. So I will be studying while I'm there, I assure you that, or I'll be trying to come up with some other strategy. So if you got anything for me, if you have any good ideas for me to try to employ, then let's hear them. Oh, look at this guy. Okay, so this is another time where it's actually, the stock is under the descending resistance. Low liquidity, but we did get this yellow dot in here, right in here, and there was certainly a move up, but from there it moved on up. We got it in here. So I don't know. Keep fine tuning it, and then we're all going to Vegas. We gotta talk about that, man. We gotta talk about Vegas. I hope it's all pleasure and no business. I mean, yeah, are you on the tables, or what are you doing? Because folks who like to, I think that, it's a not a well-known thing, but having addictive personalities liking to trade stocks can fall closely, can parallel to gambling. And you know what? This could be considered gambling for me, but I don't gamble. I don't gamble at all. Not even a little bit. I'm not even interested in it. But I will sure enough throw a bunch of money away in stocks. So, what's the difference, right? But yeah, man. Hope you have fun. Stay safe, and keep your wallet close to you and whatnot. But I'm sure you know all that good stuff. So, all right, man. Well, shoot me a text or hop on the Discord so we can just kind of chat about some of this stuff. I don't even know what the Discord link is. Hang on, let me put it in the chat. And I don't even know how to get into it these days. Let's see here. Let's see. I think this will work. Who down we're going? Oh yeah, that sounds like fun, man. I used to let's see. Did I get out of there? How do I get back in? I used to restore some four-wheelers and whatnot, so I enjoy four-wheeler. Used to ride motorcycles. I still got a couple four-wheelers in the backyard. I just don't get around to taking them out and riding them like I should, man, like I want to. So all right, yeah, I got the link in there. But yeah, have fun, have a ton of fun. Wear a helmet. Make sure you get on something 500 cc's or better. Always four-wheel drive. Hopefully, it's got the underwater kit. What else? What else on those bad boys? Man, those things can cost though. Those things can be $5-10 grand. Or then those side by sides, 10-20 grand. And then you step on into the gosh, what do you call them? Not the slingshot. I feel like it starts with a P. But anyway, 20-30 grand. So one day these stocks is gonna make a way for all of it. All right. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna have fun. Sitting on the porch with a cup of coffee, looking at stocks. And I'll live vicariously through you. All right. So again, be safe. I'll check with you later. I'm out. Peace.